What is going on, Washington Commanders Nation? We are back with another video, and in today's video, we got a video that I didn't think was going to happen because I didn't think the Washington Commanders were going to sign anyone today, but obviously on the back half of free agency, we're on day 3 of free agency. The Commanders have signed defensive lineman Eddie Goldman, headed to the Commanders on a 1-year deal per source. Now, we don't know the money situation. Did they pay him a lot? Probably not. He was probably pretty cheap to get. Before we get into talking about Eddie Goldman, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, so hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get into the video. So, as I just read, Eddie Goldman headed to the Washington Commanders on a 1-year deal. We are going to look up what Eddie Goldman has done in the past few years. He is 31 years old. He played on the Bears. He's big. He's very, very big. Played on the Falcons as well. That was his most recent team, was the Atlanta Falcons. He was 6'3", 325 pounds. He had 1 sack last year. So if you're wondering kind of what the stats look like, he had 1 sack last year. His career, he has 14 sacks. So not bad. Not bad at all. Eddie Goldman to the Washington Commanders. What do we think? The Washington Commanders get size on that D-line and add depth to the D-line. I don't mind it. I can tell you that. I definitely don't mind it. And I like to see the Commanders being active before the new league year. We don't have Dante Fowler yet. We have not re-signed Dante Fowler Jr. yet. We have not re-signed Sheldon Day. We have not re-signed Jalen Holmes. And so, this could be an indicator that the Washington Commanders plan to not sign those guys back. And so Eddie Goldman goes to the Washington Commanders on just a 1-year deal. And I'll take the 1-year deal because the thing is, if he's really bad this year, if he doesn't work out, if he ends up not playing, it's only a 1-year deal. You don't have to bring him back next year. But I like us trying new things. And this was per Jay Fowler of ESPN. We beef up the D-line some more. And that is what the Washington Commanders needed. We need to build the O-line and D-line up. What have we done in free agency? We built the O-line up by Laramie Tunsil, 5-time Pro Bowl left tackle. And then we're going to beef up the D-line even more. We got Javon Kinlaw. We have now signed Eddie Goldman. I love this move for the Washington Commanders. We needed to sign interior defensive linemen that are really going to add size to this roster. And that is exactly what Eddie Goldman does for the Washington Commanders. He now, like I said, he's played for the Bears and Falcons, to my knowledge. Those are the 2 teams that he's played for. We're getting a guy with experience. We're getting a guy who's also 31 years old. If he doesn't work out, like I said, we don't have to sign him back next year. We are going to try and experiment with Eddie Goldman, beef up the interior D-line as we needed to do. I mean, you hear from Adam Schefter, you hear from all the reporters. The Washington Commanders need to add depth and beef up the O-line. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And I love seeing Adam Peters, being active right now. A lot of teams haven't really signed anyone today. Day 3 of free agency has not been very active. The Washington Commanders, they took their time, they evaluated different players, and they waited for the right one to strike on. And hopefully Eddie Goldman is the right one for the Washington Commanders. I believe he can be. Not saying I know a whole lot about this guy. He only has 14 career sacks. Not very good in the stat sheet, but maybe he can show up and make a difference this year for the Washington Commanders. I believe he can. I definitely believe he can, and he's going to definitely get some reps for the Commanders. Is he going to make the 52-man roster? Maybe. He might not, though. He might not, and that is a realistic thing. He might not make the 52-man roster. Yes, we signed him, but he still has to make the cut. And right now, he's looking pretty good. For the Washington Commanders. But once we get to OTAs and different things, training camp, we are going to get a good taste of what Eddie Goldman can do on the football field. And if it's not good, Adam Peters and Dan Quinn are not going to be very pleased. And I can also tell you that Dan Quinn had a big saying in this. Okay, it's not all Adam Peters that does the evaluating and signing. Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. have a big say in it. To who the Washington Commanders signed. So if you think this is all Adam Peters' run, it's not. I can tell you that, and I can make that clear for you. It's not. Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. have select guys that they like, and they sign him. This is one of Joe Witt Jr.'s guys now. He's the defensive coordinator. He's in charge of this defense. He wanted to beef up the D line. We're gonna get a cheap defensive lineman. And again, I don't know the exact money for Eddie Goldman, but I can tell you that it's probably going to be on the cheaper side due to looking at his stats and how many teams he's been on in the NFL. It's not going to be over $10 million. I can definitely guarantee you that. And without Dante Fowler Jr. re-signed yet, we need guys. We need guys. Like I said, we don't have Sheldon Day. We don't have Jalen Holmes. We lost Jonathan Allen. Deron Payne hasn't been showing up. So this is a big signing for the Washington Commanders, and we need to capitalize on it. Eddie Goldman needs to capitalize on it. Take advantage of your opportunities in the NFL. He definitely will, though. He has experience. We'll see him show up in a lot of games this year, okay? And I hope that he does well. But I like this signing for the Washington Commanders from Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. I love this signing, actually, and I like them still being active. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Do you think this is a good or bad signing for the Washington Commanders? I think it's good. Like I said, I love this signing. I'll take it. A little bit of news there for you on day 3 of free agency. I didn't expect to have any more news, but there you go. But that's going to be it for right now. Let me know what you think down below about Eddie Goldman. Hail to the Washington Commanders, and peace out, everybody.